Crushed is a really good episode of Full House. This is the 16th episode of the 5th season. It's directed by Zwick, and as always, there will be spoilers from now as I go through the episode and share some thoughts. And I feel like it's been so long since we had an episode focusing on Stephanie, and this is absolutely delightful. It starts off with Michelle and Becky baking Stephanie's birthday cake. Well, I say baking. They're spreading chocolate frosting and Michelle is licking the spatula. Very cute, establishes the narrative straight away. We do have a subplot, and I'll talk about this very briefly. I don't have too many thoughts, but I did enjoy it. Michelle wants to be funny like Joey. So Joey is giving her some tips and teaching her how to be funny, and we have this wonderful moment. I think it was predictable, but even still, it was fabulous. Michelle has been coached by Joey, and she's ready to do some comedy in front of the babies, Nicky and Alex. And it's not working. So Joey says they need to pull out the big one, the finale, the pie in the face. And he brings out the pie, ready to throw it in Michelle's face. And she gets there first. And she pushes it straight into his face. And I do think it was predictable as soon as Joey said the pie. But at the same time, I really thoroughly enjoyed it. The rest of the narrative is all about Stephanie and a little bit of DJ as well. Stephanie actually wants to go and wake up San Francisco, or at least go to the studio, because her all-time favourite singer ever, Tommy Page, is going to be on the show. I wasn't actually aware of Tommy Page, but it seems like it would have been a pretty big deal at the time. And Danny actually tells DJ that he'd told Tommy Page Stephanie is a big fan, and he's actually going to be stopping by her birthday party later on that day. And I feel like this didn't go in the direction I would have expected. I'd seen the episode before, so I could remember roughly what happened. But I feel like when Danny said that, it's like something was going to go wrong, or Stephanie would react badly to this. But that's not the direction it took. We have the great party scene, everybody's dancing, really lively, really great music. Kimmy comes over because she's aware that Tommy Page's limo is outside, and Kimmy's involvement in this was absolutely delightful. And they then bring Tommy Page out, and Stephanie squeals, and everybody's really excited, and it just was beautiful. And he sang to her, and then Kimmy jumped in his arms. It was a really delightful scene. And then he's talking with people, and he asks DJ if she'll show him around while he's in town, and she agrees. And we cut to the next scene, and Stephanie's in the kitchen. DJ doesn't see that she's there, though, and she comes in with Tommy Page. And before he leaves, well, he's actually going downstairs to record Stephanie's song in the studio. He gives DJ a quick kiss, and we can see it's beautifully framed, really well set up. DJ is facing the audience with her back to the wall, and she's clearly over the moon with this. And then just to the side, just behind her, we see Stephanie clearly devastated, and she runs upstairs, and there are tears streaming down her face. And I have to say, I don't know how I feel about this. On the one hand, DJ did go on, it essentially was a date with somebody her sister has a huge crush on. But at the same time, it's not like she was taking Tommy Page away from Stephanie. It's not like if she hadn't done that, Tommy Page would have went on a date with Stephanie. I think her being 10 years old would be a little bit awkward. So I don't necessarily know if I agree with what DJ did. Did she just take up an opportunity to be with a cute boy? I assume she thinks he's cute. But at the same time, should she have done that out of loyalty to Stephanie? I don't know. I genuinely don't know how I feel about that. And if anybody has any strong thoughts, please let me know. But Stephanie certainly does have strong thoughts. She asks Becky what she should do, not saying that it's about DJ. And she realizes she needs to go and get her man and get DJ away from him. And there is something that I thought was very telling about DJ and just how young she really is, because Kimmy comes over to ask how the date went, and DJ says, and I quote, "We're starting a real relationship." That's bizarre for an older viewer to hear for a few reasons. One, there was nothing really in that to suggest that he's going to be leaving, he's going to be going, on tour or whatever it is that he's doing. It's not like they can really develop the beginning stages of a relationship because of that. But also, two, DJ thinks they're developing a real relationship after one date and presumably one kiss. And that's very juvenile, and it just reinforces just how young DJ actually is. Stephanie then goes down to the booth where DJ and Tommy Page are. I'll be honest, I couldn't remember what she did or what she was going to do. I didn't predict this. She's showing Tommy Page baby photos and embarrassing photos of when DJ was younger, and DJ is mortified, and she chases Stephanie around the kitchen, and then Danny, Joey and Jesse are there and they're chasing after them, and it's very chaotic. It's absolute madness. And they manage to get Stephanie to explain, and she explains that, well, she thinks that Tommy is in love with her and DJ stole him from her, and that's not something I think was obvious to me. I assumed Stephanie was upset because DJ got to do something that Stephanie didn't, that she really wanted to do. I don't think it was predictable that Stephanie genuinely thought Tommy Page was in love with her. He wrote on her signed CD, "Love Tommy" and things, and he came to her birthday party, so Stephanie thinks that he must have strong feelings for her. And Danny gives her a really good talk, actually. Very sensitive, very caring, but makes it quite clear that that's not love. And then I love the fact that he also had to give the same talk to DJ. Because it's true, DJ, although older than Stephanie, is still very young and still has a lot to learn. And I thought it was handled by Danny and the others very, very well. And then Tommy Page comes upstairs and he explains that he'd like to be friends with both of them, and I think he handled it really well as well. And then the final scene is really beautiful because, well, Stephanie is upstairs upset. DJ goes to sit with her. She figures if they're both upset, they might as well be upset together. What I didn't love is that DJ didn't really apologise. She did say that when they're both older, they'll date lots and lots of guys, and she will never ever steal somebody from Stephanie. So I guess that's kind of an apology in her saying, "I will never do it." But I would have liked a proper heartfelt apology. Maybe she gave her one outside of the scene. And then we have a lovely sisterly bonding moment. And it's a really, really lovely scene. So in general, I think Crushed is a really fabulous episode. I think for younger viewers, it can help to highlight that, well, crushes and real love are very different things. But even for us older viewers who might develop an infatuation for somebody, it's nice to just be reminded that actually we could take a step back and assess what we're really feeling. I think it's a message that will always be important. Love the party scenes. As I said, I don't know who Tommy Page is, really. I've done a tiny bit of Googling since watching this, but it seems like it would have been a pretty big deal at the time. And I guess happy birthday, Stephanie. At the end of the day, even though Tommy Page didn't love her, he still came to her birthday party. She still got a signed CD. And she had a lovely moment with DJ at the end of it. Needless to say, I thought this was a pretty good episode. Personal highlights would be the party scene. I just loved the atmosphere and the way it was framed when we had DJ after the kiss and Stephanie behind her. I thought that looked fantastic. And the pie in the face. The pie in Joey's face. I saw it coming, but I still loved it. Ultimately, Crushed is a really solid episode of Full House.